Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Alaska Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Josh, and I'll be facilitating our conversation today. You're about to hear from 6 different colleges and universities who are going to share with you just a bit about their respective institutions, and we'll have plenty of time for questions. So just a couple of announcements. You should use that Q&A button on your screen. Use that button to ask questions of any of our presenters, and you can ask questions of any of the presenters at any time. They love to answer your questions, ask questions about specific majors, about the application, really anything related to college admission is fair game. Your camera and your microphone are turned off so the panelists can't see or hear you. So the Q&A function is really the best way to communicate with us. Also, this is just one of many different sessions that are happening as part of this College Fair series, so be sure to sign up for some other sessions as well. Also, this presentation is being recorded, and it'll be available in about a week on the same website where you registered, as are all of the other presentations. So if you're missing some other university's presentation to be with us here now, you can hear them later. Without any further ado, I would like to turn it over to our presenters. And up first is Erin from Southern Oregon University.
Thank you, Josh. Let me share my screen here. Okay, again, my name is Erin, and I am an admissions counselor here at Southern Oregon University. I live in the Portland area, typically cover that area, but I also have traveled up to Alaska and covered the Alaska territory. So I've loved that trip, and I look forward to doing it again, hopefully next year. Southern Oregon University is located in Ashland, Oregon, which is in Southern Oregon, of course. We're about 20 minutes from the California border, right along I-5, so the western part of the state. So because we're so close to California, we do see all 4 seasons, but we typically see a lot more sun and less rain than the rest of Oregon usually sees. So it's nice, you get to enjoy our environment. It's a very outdoorsy area, so hiking, biking, whitewater rafting, skiing, snowboarding, kayaking, all the things outdoors are just within 30 minutes to a couple of hours from campus. So our students and faculty and staff really love to take advantage of our location. Ashland is world known for the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. So it's a beautiful artsy town, lots of delicious restaurants. We get a lot of tourism year round, but it is a smaller town as well. We are one of the smaller public schools in Oregon, so we have a little over 5,800 total students. Average class size is about 23 or so, so good small class sizes. You're not just a face in a 300-person lecture hall. Your professor knows you, they care about your success, and they really want you to do well, not only in their classes, but they want to help you. They'll be your letters of recommendation when you are applying for jobs after college as well. We have 38 majors, over 100 areas of study. Some of our top majors are business, education, psychology, criminal justice, outdoor adventure leadership. We are also well known for theater, music, and art, and biology and chemistry are also very strong. Theater is our only major that requires an additional application to major in it. So that's just something to consider, but you can view all of our majors on that website there. Everyone starts out taking general education classes, so there's no pressure to know what you want to study right off the bat. You can come in as undeclared, try different subjects, see what interests you the most, and then decide from there. As long as you decide by like the end of your sophomore year or so, you would still be on track to graduate in 4 years. We love our students to have a very well-rounded college experience, so we love for them to get involved. One of the best ways to do that is through student clubs on campus. We have over 100 clubs. They range from academic clubs to religion clubs to identity-based clubs to athletic clubs to tons of just random for fun clubs. You name it, we probably have it. And if not, it's really easy to create a club. They're constantly being added. So that's a really great way to meet people with similar interests as you. We do have sports. So we are in the NAIA for varsity sports. You can visit souraiders.com to get in contact with the coach or fill out the recruit form there. So there are some scholarships available for our athletic programs. And then, like I mentioned, we have club sports. So they still compete with other schools, but just not quite at that scholarship level. And then we do have intramural sports as well. So all levels of competitiveness, lots of ways for you to stay active and or show school spirit, whatever interests you the most. We have tons of job opportunities on campus for students. We have student body government, a lot of awesome ways to get involved. We do require first-year students to live on campus. We have 2 resident halls specifically for incoming freshmen. After that, if you want to move off campus, you can, or we have plenty of housing if you want to stay on campus. As far as dining goes, we have one main dining facility called the Hawk. It's basically an all-you-can-eat buffet with 7 different cook-to-order stations. They're always switching it up, so you're never getting tired of the same food, but it's delicious. Everything's labeled very nicely if you have any dietary restrictions. Then we have a couple little smaller coffee shops and bagel shops on campus as well. We are one of the most affordable public schools in Oregon. So from Alaska, if you are not familiar with the WUI or the Western Undergraduate Exchange, you definitely want to look into that tuition rate if you are looking out of state at all. We offer the WUI automatically for students in Alaska or any WUI state. So you apply to SOU, you attend SOU, you automatically get that discounted tuition rate. So you're looking at about $15,000 for the year for tuition and fees. That's the estimate for this year. And then room and board, you see there, it will vary kind of depending on which resident hall you live in. So room and board covers your housing and your meal plan. Fill out the FAFSA or the ORSA beginning October 1st of your senior year. Get that federal loans and grants. And then for scholarships, we have our automatic merit-based scholarships for WUI residents. So when you apply to SOU, we'll just look at your GPA and you'll automatically be awarded a scholarship if you're eligible for it. And then we have the SOSA, which is one main scholarship application that applies you to over 100 scholarships. Our application's right on our website, so we are not part of the Common App at this time. You just visit sou.edu, fill out the application there, and then submit your official transcripts, and we'll be getting an admissions decision to you in about 2 to 3 weeks. We have rolling admissions, so you can apply anytime, but we would recommend you apply by like winter break or so. Our priority date is February 1st. We have a holistic view, so we don't really have a hard set GPA minimum requirement, but we like to get to know you better as a whole person and not just by that number. So if you have any questions in the future at all, feel free to call or text me, email me. You can schedule a one-on-one Zoom meeting with me, and I would be happy to answer any questions after this. Don't forget to drop your questions in the Q&A feature here as well, and you can scan that QR code if you want more information.
Thank you so much, Erin. And next we have Bethany from Portland State University.
Great, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Bethany Potts. I'm your admissions counselor at Portland State University. PSU is the 2nd largest four-year public school in the state of Oregon, and we are located in downtown Portland. So this first slide is a great view of that downtown campus location. As an urban setting, we have about 50 acres in downtown, and if you're interested in living on campus, you have the option to do so. We have 10 residence halls. 2 are specifically dedicated to our incoming freshmen, and then 1 is for our honors college, and then the others for our upperclassmen or transfer students. However, you aren't required to live on campus at Portland State. We do want you to have that choice. Now, as a large four-year public school, especially in the heart of a city, we think it's really important for you to get involved on campus, whether that's through living in on-campus housing or getting involved in one of our cultural and resource centers, a student-run club and organization, or through PSU athletics, whether that's with one of our Division I teams or maybe through our outdoor programs office. We're also really honored to get to partner with our diverse student population. And so if you're a student who's maybe the first in your family to attend college, about 37% of our undergraduate students identify as first-generation college students. So you will not be alone in that endeavor. We have support services for you. In the classroom at PSU, you have a lot of programs to choose from. Some of our more popular offerings include psychology, business, computer science, public health studies, and graphic design. But if you are a student who is interested in many different areas of study, or maybe you're just not quite sure yet what it is you'd like to focus on, at PSU we have dedicated academic advisors in exploratory pathways. So you can still apply to Portland State. Sometimes you might think of yourself as an undecided student, but we will say that you are exploratory. And your advisor will really talk you through what your options are at PSU, what your future goals are, and how we can support you in pursuing those later. Our Honors College at Portland State is a by-application program that you can apply to with 2 essays at the very end of our application for admission. And the Honors College is a program that you can pair with any major at Portland State. So if you're interested in additional information, absolutely email me and I'd be happy to talk to you about that a bit more. On the admissions side of things, Portland State also has rolling admission. We are not on the Common App or the Coalition app, so you'll apply right on our website. And as an incoming freshman or a transfer student, we're really going to look for a set of minimum requirements. If you meet them, you will be admitted as a student. I'll start by saying for our incoming freshmen, if you are a student interested in next fall or a future quarter after that, we will continue to be a test optional school, so that policy will continue to apply to you. If you have at least a cumulative unweighted 3.0 GPA, and if you do meet our minimum class requirements from high school, then your test scores won't help or hurt your application in any way. You will be admitted as a student. On the transfer side of things, we will need all of your college level coursework from every school that you've ever attended. And PSU is a pretty transfer friendly school. About 65% of our students identify as transfer students. So the Transfer and Returning Student Center will be a great resource for you, and I'm happy to get you connected with them. All right, as a WUI school, the best way to get the most funding at Portland State to fund your time with us is by applying for admission by June 15th at the absolute latest. Similar to what my colleague Erin at Southern said, our priority deadline, however, is February 1st. So try and apply by then. If you apply to PSU, you will automatically be considered for the Western Undergraduate Exchange. And at PSU, it reduces your tuition from almost $30,000 a year to about $14,300. So it's a great cost saver. It's renewable every year during your 4 years as an undergraduate student. And to qualify, we'll look for a final high school GPA of a 3.0 or above. You'll notice it also includes test score eligibility options, but it's one or the other. You can meet the requirement with either your GPA or with your test scores. Transfer students will look for a 3.0 or above. If you're a student who's curious about the WUI and would like some more information, let me know. We do also have a general scholarship application, and I would encourage you to submit that. It's due February 1st, and you can apply every single year as a student. If you are a current high school junior or senior, we absolutely encourage you to attend one of our preview days this fall. We know that this is a ton of information. So both dates will include the same info, and it's an opportunity to get more information from our specific academic programs on campus. All of our programs will be present, including the University Honors College. It's a great way to get to know Portland State a bit more. So I hope you'll sign up. And I will conclude here. My contact information is on the slide. I hope you'll reach out and that this can be the first in many conversations. Thanks for joining.
Thank you very much, Bethany. Next from Verto Education is Josh.
Thanks, Josh. From one Josh to another. All right. Okay, so hi, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to come to this today. I think there's about 27 of you here, and I wish I could see all your faces, and just going to assume you're smiling back and super excited and happy to, to be here. But really for you seniors, especially much appreciated. This is a crazy year, so more power to you guys. We're going to talk about Verto Education. So this is a little bit different, so bear with me. If you're somebody who is interested in world travel, if you've ever wanted to travel, if you've done so in your life, if you're somebody who's looking at a 4-year degree, or if you're someone who's not sure what you'd like to do after high school, I think what we're doing at Verto can kind of fit into all those categories. So again, we'll go through it. So with Verto Education, to put it as simply as I can, students are spending their first semester of college traveling. So we've got a lot of different locations around the world. And I think for us, it's really important that students have this experience to start college when you're getting out of your home, your comfort zone, when you're experiencing life through somebody else's eyes who thinks differently than you. That's such a great way to learn about yourself. Amazing way to learn about things you're good at, things you like doing, what your passion areas are. So again, we want students to have that experience to start college, which is why students with Verto, they spend their first semester traveling around the world. And we'll talk about what that looks like in a second. And Josh, you're gonna have to cut me off because I can ramble on. I get excited about this stuff, so bear with me. The way that I like to frame Verto to students is think of us kind of like the Common App. So what we've done is partner with about 50 universities across the country, a couple of whom are here today. Shout out to PSU and Lewis and Clark. Students can apply through Verto to any of our partner schools. It's a free application. One thing we're seeing is that students who apply to college through Verto actually receive an advantage in admission, which is great. And upon acceptance, they'll spend their first semester abroad, knowing which university they're a part of. So that's kind of the structure. So we can skip some of this stuff. And these are really the three kind of pillars that make up Verto and make up who we are, the best possible first year experience imaginable. So again, traveling the world, experiencing different cultures and new places, admission to a reach school, and affordability. I'll talk about scholarships at the end. We're very dedicated to making this as accessible as possible for as many students as possible around the country. Okay, so where can students travel? What can you do your first semester abroad? There are 6 different options. I'll talk about one in detail just to give you an example. I could talk for hours about all these places, but I'm gonna breeze through them. First option is in London, looking at business. Milan in Italy, if you're a creative, visual, artistic person, we look at art history and philosophy in Italy. Also carbs. It's Italy, so that's a plus. Madrid in Spain, Spanish language, a bunch of different courses you can take in Spain through Verto. We have field semesters. So these semesters, these 3 here, you're earning 16 credits on every one of these options I kind of went through. On the field semesters, though, you're really never in a 4-walled classroom. This is about true cultural immersion, true, I guess, intentional travel, if you want to call it. So I'll talk about Latin America specifically. This semester, students are in 2 countries, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic. They're looking at the Spanish language, global health, development. So things that we do every day is you live in a base house with your group in the jungle, and you kind of jump off to different communities and do like ethnographic studies or community surveys. We do a public health component where you're working with doctors and understanding like, access to clean water and what impact does that have on public health. So that's the kind of stuff you're doing every day for your first semester of college, again, earning those 16 credits per semester. Just an example. And we have, again, just incredible locations around the world. I'd like to touch upon our partner schools. So again, shout out PSU, Lewis and Clark. Any of the schools on our list, students can apply to through Verto. They don't need to apply to the school directly. It's kind of like the Common App. You can see here, this is just a screenshot from our app, and students just, they'll just select which partner schools they'd like to apply to. And then we will send their application off to the university. We don't have a minimum GPA. We don't require a test score. So what's much more important to us is understanding who students are and why they're doing this. And on that basis, hopefully we can get you into some really great schools. If a student is not interested in a partner school, it's okay. They can let us know and we'll help them transfer the credits to a different 4-year school or to community college or wherever. It just depends on where you are in your life. That's kind of the point. In terms of affordability, we'll go here. Federal aid, any student can use FAFSA, Pell Grant, Stafford loans that can be used on your Verto semester. So that's there for you. Every one of those semesters that I kind of just breezed through, included in your tuition is meals and housing. This is the starting cost here. For scholarships though, if a student earns less than $65,000 a year in household income, they'll receive a $10,000 grant that they can use in Latin America or on our Hawaii semester. And I want to go here now, just because we're short on time. We have a new honors program this year too for super high achievers, people who are really motivated, really excited about traveling. This is a full year with Verto, your full first year of college, same credits, same access to partner schools, but you'll dive really deep into things like racism, climate change, gender inequality, social justice issues. If that's something you're passionate about, this is a great program for you. We'll do things like a capstone project. We'll do a guaranteed summer internship for honors students. The most exciting thing about this, I think, is our tuition structure. If you fall within a low income bracket, there's no tuition for the honors program, and then it kind of tiers off from there. So in terms of accessibility, great option for students. Again, I think the key takeaways here are if you're somebody who wants to travel and see the world and stay on your 4-year graduation timeline, great option. I'll pull this thing up here, scan away. I'll see this come in, and then we'll do like a one-on-one or whatever works for you guys. But yeah, thanks for your time. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you. And you finished right on time. Good job. The next presenter is Trisha from Eastern Oregon University.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming into our session today. Bear with me as I pull up my full screen presentation for you. All right, thank you. So, Eastern Oregon University, you might not have heard of us before. We are one of the smallest public universities in the state of Oregon. And we're located in La Grande. So it's about 4 hours east of Portland, 2.5 hours north of Boise, Idaho. So those would be the major airports that you could fly into from Alaska and then travel to us in La Grande. So being a small public university, this is our view. We're surrounded by the Blue Mountains. So it's a beautiful area to explore in all 4 seasons. It's about 55 degrees today, so one of our really first fall days here in La Grande. WUI is automatic for all students upon acceptance to Eastern, and this year our WUI tuition and fees price is just over $13,000. So pretty good price for coming out of state to Eastern. So our on-campus student population this last academic year was right around 1,600 students. So your average class size is going to be fewer than 25 students. I'm an alum of Eastern, and I absolutely loved my education. That's why I work for Eastern Oregon University, because I want to tell more people about how awesome we are. So my smallest class at Eastern was 3. My largest class was about 75. And faculty teach all of the classes at Eastern, so you're always being taught by someone who's really knowledgeable and the expert in their field. And all of our programs are very hands-on learning. If you're interested in continuing your education into graduate school programs, we prepare students well for the next step into graduate school. 92% of our students in pre-professional programs get into graduate school programs. These are our most popular areas of study at Eastern. We were founded as an educators college back in 1929. So this is a very popular area for us, and we are nationally ranked. Our education program is nationally ranked. So if you are interested in early childhood, elementary, secondary, this is a great school to consider to become a teacher. Next year, we are really excited to be adding a bachelor's degree in special education. We've added some certifications in trauma-informed education, and our new dean of the College of Education is just has some great ideas in bringing out new program enhancements. We also partner with Oregon Health and Sciences University, OHSU, to offer a degree in nursing on our campus. And we also partner with Oregon State University, OSU, to offer agriculture science degree programs as well. Campus life. So we have a great campus life. There's over 50 active clubs and organizations for you to get involved in. So being a small school, I mean, 50 compared to some of the other schools that you've heard from doesn't sound like much, but for a small school, we have quite a bit going on. And like Aaron at Southern Oregon, they range from academic-based, hobby-based. We love to celebrate culture and diversity as well, so quite the range. We are also NAI athletics at Eastern. We compete in the Cascade Collegiate Conference, and for all of our sports except football competes in the Frontier Conference. We just added women's lacrosse. So if you're a lacrosse player, our team is brand new, and we brought back men's baseball. So our last time men's baseball played at Eastern was 2006. So we're happy to bring that back. Our new facilities, we are currently in the process of building a field house. So that'll have an indoor track, a rock wall will go out there because it's currently in Quinn Coliseum. Our Health and Human Performance degree program lab will go out there. Weight room, other practice facilities, so we're pretty excited about it. There's also a lot to do with theater and music. You don't necessarily have to major in those areas to get involved. The Outdoor Adventure program is huge here. So this is a program that has free rentals for all students. You can take classes through them as well, learn new skills, go on day trips, weekend trips, spring break trips, quite a bit. And all of our students use this at some point or another. Admission at EOU. So no test scores are required for admission. We've been that way for a while, but we are proud to announce that we no longer use test scores to award merit-based scholarship. And so 3.0 GPA and higher will get you merit-based scholarship at Eastern. We also are not part of the Common App. So you apply at eou.edu, send us your official high school transcripts and college credit or college transcripts if you've earned college credit, and we'll make the decision. Our scholarships opened October 1st, and the ones that have a deadline or have an application will have a deadline of February 1st. So, and this is my contact information. So take a screenshot of this and contact me if you have any more questions or concerns. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tricia. And up next is Derek from Pacific University, Oregon. Derek, you're still on mute.
Perfect. So I'm Derek. I'm your admissions counselor. I get the pleasure of working with all the students from Alaska, and I'm here with Pacific University. So I'm going to tell you guys just a little bit about our school and what we have to offer you guys to come on down and join us in Oregon. Now, Pacific itself, we're a small private liberal arts school. We're located about 25 miles west of Portland. So basically you can think of us as about 30-minute drive from downtown, depending on how traffic is, and about an hour from the Oregon coast. So it's a beautiful small town built right around the university. We get all 4 seasons. It doesn't just constantly rain there, I promise. We do get a little snow in the winter, and it does get warm in the summer. And we're also what's called the Oregon Silicon Forest, which is these big companies like Nike, Intel, Xerox, Columbia, all have really big world headquarters right near our campus. So it's an amazing area for our students to be able to get great opportunities. And as a small private liberal arts university, we offer over 65 different majors, minors, and programs across the spectrum. We're best known for our pre-health professions tracks into our graduate programs for things like optometry, physical therapy, physician's assistant. But we also have nationally and regionally ranked creative writing programs, education, and we have the top accounting program in Oregon last year. So we really do cover that whole breadth of knowledge. And we want you guys to be able to explore, to try new things. And you have 2 full years before you have to declare a major at Pacific. You don't apply as a specific program, you apply to Pacific as a whole, and then get to come in and try out different classes in all of our different areas. So for all those 65 different areas of study, it's treated like an honors college. All of our students are in small school or classes. We only have about 1,800 undergraduate students. Our large classes seat 50 students. Our small ones are 4, 5, and 6. Our average class size is only 19, so you can't hide in our classrooms. The professors are going to call on you guys. They're going to know your names. And at Pacific, every single class is taught by a full professor. They want you getting top of the line knowledge throughout the year. And more importantly, we want you guys to get a 4-year education, and we guarantee it. What that means at Pacific is if you come to Pacific, it will take you 4 years to get your bachelor's degree. If for some reason it takes a 9th semester, we pay for it. So we really want you guys to be able to get that 4-year education and take the next step. And at Pacific, we don't want you guys just sitting in the classroom. We want you having that experience and the resume to back up that degree for every single program at Pacific. Whether that's publishing your own work in our nationally published creative writing magazine, doing research with OHSU or right on our campus, or maybe doing an internship at Nike or Intel, it means our students are able to start doing internships, job shadowing, and research freshman and sophomore year of college, not waiting till they're a junior or senior. That's two parts. One is to build up that resume so they have real life experience to talk about. And two, it's to help you guys make sure this is what you really want to do. If you want to work with and think you want to be a kindergarten teacher, great. Let's put you in our on-campus kindergarten and make sure at the end of that year of job shadowing, you still like little kids. And if you don't, you have time to change your mind. Same thing with health professions, creative writing, or even anthropology. Getting you those experiences early and building on it for 4 years gives you the opportunity to go to grad school or get a job after you graduate. And while you're there, we want you guys to have fun. We want you to try different things because we know students need an outlet, and Pacific loves those students who are super active. The ones that do 4 or 5 different things in high school and want to keep doing those. We have over 70 different clubs and organizations on campus, ranging from student government to Greek life, academic clubs, different religious and ethnic background clubs. We have over 10 different performing arts groups for the music, dance, and theater that you do not have to major or minor in. And we have 24 varsity, 20 intramural, and 10 club sports. So it's a very active campus where our average student is involved in 3 clubs or sports that have nothing to do with what they're studying here at Pacific. And one other really fun thing for you to experience while you're here is about 15% of our students come from Hawaii. Actually, about 50% of our students come from outside of Oregon. So you're not going to be alone coming from outside. But those Hawaii students actually help us at Pacific have something really unique. We host the largest student-run luau anywhere in the US outside of the islands of Hawaii. And you can all join the Hawaii Club, learn about a different culture, a different background, and actually dance on stage in front of thousands of people along with your friends from the islands of Hawaii. So it's a really amazing experience of being able to allow you guys to try new things and learn about different areas while you're on campus. That also means taking that education outside of the classroom, whether that's a trip for a class, joining one of our outdoor pursuits classes, and doing things like learning how to surf on the Oregon coast or trying to summit Mount Hood every summer. Maybe that's studying abroad at some of our 27 direct exchange sites around the world, or doing a 2 to 3 week travel class during winter term. Or just doing community service, taking what you're learning in the classroom to solve a problem, whether that's locally in the Forest Grove area or in Portland, or taking that international as well, and maybe traveling to Romania and helping build Habitat for Humanity houses while you're there. But giving our students the opportunity to get out, explore, and use their knowledge. We're also, at Pacific, we have no in-state or out-of-state scholarships or in-state or out-of-state tuition. It's the same for everybody. At Pacific, our 3 main scholarships are your senior preview scholarship days. So for those of you who are seniors in the room, come join us on Fridays, Saturdays, and a couple of Wednesdays to earn an additional $1,000 a year scholarship by learning more about the school. Apply to Pacific and you're automatically considered for academic merit scholarship. It's need blind. We don't care where your parents make or where you're from to be awarded one of those academic merit scholarships. Or apply for one of our special interests in things like music, dance, theater, speech and debate, mathematics, robotics, and other areas. All of these scholarships can be combined together. They're available to every student. And this year to Pacific is test optional both for admission and for our scholarships. So you do not need test scores to be awarded any of these scholarships or to be admitted to Pacific University. We use the common application. It's all online. And as I said earlier, I'll be your admissions counselor at Pacific. So if you do have any questions, you can always reach out to me directly. And I'm glad to answer those questions for you guys. Also know that we do have an early action deadline on November 1st coming up pretty quickly. So please feel free to fill out that application or follow up with me with any questions you have, or feel free to put them in the chat and we're glad to answer those as well.
Thank you so much, Derek. And last, but certainly not least, is Lewis and Clark College.
All right. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining me to learn a little bit more about Lewis and Clark College. My name is Erica Quiggins, and I'm a Senior Associate Dean of Admissions, and I've had the privilege of working with students and families and counselors from Alaska and many other states over the past 20 years. Lewis and Clark is a private institution with a public conscience, a residential campus with a global reach. Students and faculty pursue new ways of knowing, combining classical liberal learning with pioneering collaboration. Our students represent the next generation of global thinkers and leaders, unafraid to discard conventional thinking, civic complacency, and outmoded preconceptions. You'll be inspired by the beauty of our natural setting on 137 wooded acres in Portland, Oregon, our commitment to interdisciplinary, experiential, and rigorous academics, and the staggering percentage of our students who take part in one of our renowned study abroad programs. Lewis and Clark is where agile minds come to learn, to explore, and to work together. Lewis and Clark has just under 2,000 undergraduate students, and our average class size is 17. We also guarantee that you will graduate in 4 years. All of our classes are taught by professors, not graduate assistants. One of the first words I always use to describe Lewis and Clark's academics is engaged. Students and faculty are committed to learning together in a collaborative environment in small classes where students are actively engaged in their learning. And how do Lewis and Clark's professors describe our students? Curious, questioning. They want to know more, to make connections across disciplines, to tackle issues with creativity and insight, and ultimately to make the world a better place. How does this liberal arts education prepare you for success after graduation? No matter whether students choose to major or minor in biology or international affairs or psychology or entrepreneurship, they are learning strong communication skills and quantitative skills. They're collaborating, they're exercising their creativity, they're becoming critical thinkers and problem solvers, and these are exactly the kinds of skills that employers are looking for. Lewis and Clark students hail from all over the country and all over the world. Our students come together and they share an incredible diverse array of perspectives and backgrounds. That's important to us. It's also important to know that Lewis and Clark is an amazingly welcoming and supportive place where really you can be you. We're lucky to be located here in the green, quirky, delicious, wonderful city of Portland. Many of our students and alumni describe it as the best of both worlds. We have a beautiful forested residential campus in a quiet neighborhood next to a state park. And just 6 miles away is downtown Portland and all that it has to offer. Why is that important? Well, concerts, events, great food, and a vibrant art scene, but also it means that our students have ready access to internships and career opportunities. Over half of our students engage in an internship at some point during their 4 years at Lewis and Clark. And it's easy to get around with our free shuttle, great public transportation, biking, zip cars, and more. Our students also have incredible access to outdoors opportunities. And this is usually the first thing that I need to mention to my students from Alaska. Right next door, we have Tryon Creek State Park, one of my favorite places to go running or hiking. And our renowned college outdoors program provides all sorts of countless opportunities to explore and learn about the amazing natural environment of the Pacific Northwest. We absolutely take advantage of our close proximity to the Columbia River Gorge, Mount Hood, and the beautiful Oregon coast. One of the most unique aspects of Lewis and Clark is that we have embraced a global perspective to an extent that you rarely see at colleges in the US. So many Lewis and Clark alumni reflect on their study abroad experiences and describe them as transformative. Study abroad can impact your academic direction, your career focus, and your life, and you learn so much about the world and about yourself by immersing yourself in a different culture for a semester or for a year. If you haven't seriously considered studying abroad while you're in college, I would encourage you to do so. So, are you thinking about applying to Lewis and Clark? Here are 3 important things to remember. 1, our November 1st deadline for both non-binding early action and binding early decision is coming up soon. So get that Common App wrapped up, seniors. Number 2, Lewis and Clark has been test optional since 1991. We are still test optional. That means you do not need to submit SAT or ACT scores, period. Number 3, admissions interviews are recommended for seniors who are planning to apply. Sign up now for a virtual interview or a virtual visit. We are also offering on-campus visits in very limited numbers right now, and you must make a reservation for those. Questions about affording a private education? We can help. Over 90% of our students receive financial aid. All students are automatically considered for our generous merit-based scholarships that range from $20,000 per year up to full tuition. And to be considered for need-based aid, you just need to file the FAFSA. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to work with you as you explore and as you consider applying to Lewis and Clark. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Erica. That is our final presentation, but we have a couple more minutes left. We could take any questions you have. You can just type your questions into the Q&A box and we'll be happy to answer those for you. Or we can use our remaining time. If all of the panelists want to join me by turning their cameras back on, we'll just ask you to each take maybe 20 or 30 seconds to tell us your favorite thing about your institution. Just one last bit to wrap it up and give everybody one last taste of your college. We'll go in the same order we presented. Erin, if you want to go first.
Yeah. So my favorite thing about our university, I guess two quick things. One is our size. We are like private school size, but public school prices. And I did not attend SOU, but coming from a much larger university, I'm really jealous of how great of relationships our students build with their professors because of those small class sizes. It's an awesome opportunity to have letters of recommendation and that support when looking for jobs. And I love our location for all the awesome outdoor opportunities.
Thanks, Erin. Bethany?
Yeah, I also love our location. So I love being in downtown Portland. I think our students have a really entrepreneurial spirit, but they also have a commitment to sustainability, both in the classroom and outside of it. So definitely our location.
Josh?
Oh, sorry about that. Favorite thing. We have a program in Fiji where students live in this like this highland village for a month, and they unplug and they're in this beautiful valley and they just live with a Fijian family who are incredible. So that's my favorite thing, I think. Lots of favorites.
It's really cool. Trisha?
I really enjoy our community that is created every year with our faculty, staff, and students. You just really get to know one another and build that rapport with one another. Our president has played intramural sports before and he actually hurt himself. He was on crutches for a while. So, I mean, it's just really cool. I mean, you get to hang out with your professors and build that rapport. And then I would also say our distance to hiking and biking trails and just the great outdoors that we have. So like 10 minutes away, you can be on a trail. So
Cool, thanks. Derek, what's your favorite thing about Pacific?
You'll notice the theme. All of us from Oregon really love where we're located in Oregon. So rather than add on to the location, I will say one of the most fun things with Pacific is we have a really unique mascot. We're called the Boxers. So we're actually a dragon dog Chilean. It's a very complicated thing, but it makes for some of the most cool shirts. While everybody else has dogs and birds and animals and people, we get to have dragons on everything, which is so much more exciting.
Cool, and last word, Erica, what's your favorite thing about Lewis and Clark?
I actually do get asked this question frequently by students and parents, and my answer is always the same. I am really inspired by our students. That's what keeps me coming back year after year. Students come into Lewis and Clark with this idea that they really want to do something to make the world a better place, and that is a really inspiring atmosphere to be a part of while they're completing this journey at Lewis and Clark, and then seeing the amazing things that they do after graduation. So I would say the incredibly inspiring students that are having a really positive impact on the world.
Great, thank you so much. And that is our time. So thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much to our presenters and the universities for joining us today. When you close your window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We really appreciate any feedback you can provide there. And again, this session is just one of many being offered. So come back, sign up for others. We'd love to see you. Also, in about a week, you'll be able to find this session as well as any of the others recorded and available on the website. So thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.